I'm so excited to be here today with Danny Lopez. So Danny, thanks for joining me, man.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I just want to quickly give a very big welcome to Danny Lopez, who is making it official today. He has joined eXp Realty. Danny, we go back quite a few years from a standpoint of we met back in the short sale days, right? When Kevin and I were teaching some classes and we were all having to do those short sales and deal with $120,000 price points throughout the valley. And here we are. Yeah, those were fun days, right? None of us probably want to go relive them, but we had some fun. And, here we are in 2018, partnering up and collaborating together. And you've made the decision to join eXp Realty. So if you don't mind, maybe tell us a little bit about that. How did this all come about?
Well, as you mentioned, back in the short sale days, you guys are pretty, pretty much on Facebook with your videos and whatnot. You guys were doing videos before videos were cool to do on Facebook. So, and then you guys disappeared for a while. And here a few months ago, I started seeing a few videos kind of come up on Facebook again. And one of them caught my attention, was that you guys had made the move over to eXp. Now, for a lot of folks out there that don't know, I mean, you guys are huge with Keller Williams, or were huge with Keller Williams. You were in the top 100, so it was a big deal. It really kind of caught my attention, and basically just kind of curious as to why you guys had gotten a company when you guys were so ingrained into Keller Williams. I mean, you guys were the Keller Williams model. I mean, you were again top 100, just huge agent with Keller Williams, but it definitely caught my attention. Some research, and I was really intrigued by what I was seeing. So I was actually on my way to California on vacation. I had a conversation with my wife, and I told her that I needed to meet up with you guys and discuss a little bit more and learn a little bit. Again, I've been in this industry for 14 years, and I've been with two companies, RE/MAX and Keller Williams, and thankful for both of those offices. I really learned a lot. So I'm not one to jump ship and move around from office to office, but this one here, I couldn't help. This one really kind of, it's entirely different. It really does have a lot to offer, and I just had to make the move.
That's awesome, man. So you and I both got in the business around the same time, 2004. I started the business in Century 21, a very traditional, well-known real estate brokerage. You started at RE/MAX, correct? And
right.
We both found our way to Keller Williams over the last, 7 or 10 years and had some relationships there, and just incredibly excited for this new model. Was there one thing about eXp that sort of jumped out to you? And I'm sure you and I could both talk about eXp for hours. We won't do that because probably nobody would want to listen to us that long. But was there something? What was, I guess, the difference maker for you, or what was unique that stood out to you that most grabbed your attention?
Well, there's a couple of things actually. Number one, the tools. It actually offers tools that agents can actually use. The training, pretty much anybody's going to offer you training, but tools, tools that are, CRMs that are actually that I'm using now, that I've paid dearly for, and now those are included within, with the company for free. Number one. Number two is they have a revenue share. And again, we can do a whole half-hour program on revenue share. But as agents, we're really not disciplined to save money, work retirement. Taxes. Never save money for taxes, that kind of thing. And the biggest thing is it really puts together a program and a plan for an exit strategy for agents, for retirement, that kind of thing. With the revenue share, it's the way it's built up, and that's probably the thing that intrigued me the most is the revenue share.
I love that you bring that up. Oh, I'm hearing a little bit of myself there. I don't know if you're hearing that on your end, Danny, but I'll talk through it. But I love that you bring that out because obviously eXp has revenue share. It has stock, and these are unique things. But what I'm hearing you say is what stood out to you most about those is that this is a company that's providing a way, if you will, a path, so to speak, to make sure that agents don't just find themselves in the next deal every time. It seems to me like a lot of real estate agents' retirement plans, if you will, is I'm just going to do another deal, right? And there's kind of no end in that until you wake up one day and either physically you're unable to, or mentally you're drained and don't want to carry on. And so I love that was one of those things that jumped out to you, was this idea that, hey, you know, there's a few different streams of income, and there's a diversity plan, if you will, built into the company.
Because at the end of the day, honestly, I can sell real estate anywhere.
Yes, you can.
What really separated this company was that the revenue sharing. You know, that's something that nobody else offers. It's really unique, and really excited about it.
That's awesome. You know, you mentioned the tools and the training, and, you know, like you said, like every brokerage has training, right? And that kind of should just be a given. One of the things that I do love, though, about eXp, and I've started to experience this more and more as we've been in eXp longer. I haven't even been there 90 days, for the record, Danny. So it's kind of fun just to keep learning and experiencing and being inside of it. But, you know, there was over 30 hours of online training last week inside eXp World. And while every brokerage does have training, there's not a lot of brokerages that can claim they have 30 hours worth of training. I mean, can you imagine somebody sitting in a physical office giving 30 hours of training? But in this virtual world, we have the ability to collaborate and offer more training than anyone could possibly even want to take, if we're being honest. It's kind of this big buffet. And I love that you brought out the tools as well. I mean, you know, we spend and have spent in the past thousands of dollars a month just for one CRM platform. And I know you've been there, you've done the research on these platforms. And, you know, with eXp, a flat $85 a month is all you pay eXp, 50 of it for technology, 35 of it for the university tuition fee. So for your $85 a month membership, if you will, you get access to something that other people are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars a month to have, in the form of very nice websites and very intuitive tools on the back end for these contact management systems.
Right. No, I had actually looked at two of the CRMs that are provided by eXp for free. Looked at a couple of them, and they're both quite expensive. One of them is upwards around $1,600 a month.
Yep.
And then the other one's around, I believe, around $700 a month. So, you know, it's quite the package that they give you free.
Yeah.
You know, and again, when we're sitting there as agents, you know, just trying to count a lot of times every nickel and dime, and you know, try to figure out, you know, how much money we can spend on marketing. I mean, that could be a difference of whether you have it or don't.
Absolutely. That's great. Well, Danny, when did you first hear?
What was that? I lost you a little bit there, Fred.
Yeah. When did you first hear about it?
Well, again, you know, probably in the last 6-8 months, you know, you've been hearing a lot of the eXp versus KW, you know, and I don't normally buy into all of that stuff. You know, it's just like politics. You know, I don't like to discuss them. I don't like to see them on Facebook. So it was kind of just another name, just another brand, just another company. And I really never looked into it. I seriously looked into it when I saw your video and that you guys had made the transfer. And that really kind of made me think, like, what's going on here? You know, and since then, well, I'll tell you what, when I started doing the research is when I found out that Gene Fredrickson had come over from KW.
Yeah.
You know, he's another big gunner. I mean, those are huge moves. So eXp is making an impact, and it definitely caught my attention.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny you mentioned Gene. Gene's been over at eXp now for a couple of years. He was, you know, a lot of us at eXp that are already here have owe Gene a lot of gratitude, honestly, for taking the risk on the company when he did. You know, I joined when the company was 11, 12,000 agents. You're joining when the company's now 13,000. But I think Gene joined when the company was somewhere in the 200 to 300 agent range, or 300 to 400 agent range.
I think he said 315.
Yeah, which is pretty incredible. And, you know, I asked you kind of when you first heard about it or looked at it, because for me, I was the same way. I mean, I think you know this, Danny. You and I have talked about it, I think, offline, or you and Kevin may have. But I was very much like a hell no on eXp, if you will. Yeah. I had gotten turned off by some of the noise I heard and maybe some of the messaging that just didn't resonate with me. And I didn't look any deeper at it. But I was sort of the same as you when I saw Curtis Johnson make the move. Number one, I thought he was a little crazy. But number two, I was willing to sit down with him a couple months later and hear him out. We asked him to lunch. It wasn't the other way around. I wanted to know, all right, you've been there 90 days. Tell me the truth. What's going on? What do you like? What do you not like? And it was a pretty eye-opening conversation. So I think it's real interesting just to see sort of the growth of this company. I think that maybe some people heard about eXp a year ago or 6 months ago and might have discounted it. But I think some of those same people are starting to go, well, what did you see in eXp that I didn't, right? And I know that for folks like myself and you and Kevin, we would love to share more with you. So if you find yourself, watching this or want to reach out to one of us over Facebook Messenger or Danny, before we end, I'll give people an opportunity to kind of figure out what the best way is to reach out to you. But I know we'd love to field those questions because we weren't always, hip, hip, hooray on eXp necessarily. It took a little bit of time and investigation and further understanding for us to really see the model for what it is and see those tools for what they are, as you mentioned.
Well, and it's kind of funny because, no matter what decision you make, whether it's offices or buying a car or buying a house, whatever, we always have that buyer's remorse, if you will. So I had talked to you guys last week and a half ago, and pretty much committed to you that I was coming, and we would be after Labor Day, and I knew it was coming and got all the paperwork and everything rolling. And then Friday, I see Andrea Romero come across, and that was, to me, kind of reaffirmed that, what, I'm good.
Yeah.
There's other people other than myself that are seeing what eXp has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, you got to give a lot of credit to people that have come before us and taken the shot, if you will, on eXp. It's a very unique model, right? It's very different. People ask me all the time, can you compare eXp to KW or Century 21 or Remax? And I really can't. I mean, it's sort of, the model is almost so different that it's uncomparable. And I don't mean that it's to everybody it's a great fit, or to every person it's where they should be. I just mean that to those of us that are joining it, it looks like nothing we've ever seen before. A publicly traded company that many of us are shareholders in. In fact, anybody that's ever closed a real estate transaction at eXp is a shareholder because they received shares for closing transactions. The revenue share component, as you mentioned, the virtual component, and just the ability of this entire company, it just looks very different than any other. And so it can seem a little bit strange at first, but if you're willing to look under the hood, if you're willing to peek behind the curtain, there's so much to like, and I had to get over it myself. It sounds like you had to get over a little bit on maybe some what your early thoughts were. Am I making the right move? But the collaboration and the people that are joining this company right now is just phenomenal. And, a company can have great models. I don't know if you agree with me on this. I feel like a company can have great models and look good on paper, but at the end of the day, a company is really about who's associates with it, what other people are there, At the end of the day, it really is, like you mentioned, it's not about what brokerage we join. No one brokerage is going to make us or break us, in terms of success. Many of us have already figured out how to sell real estate regardless of what brokerage we go to. So it really becomes about ancillary benefits, and it becomes about collaboration, and it becomes about where do we feel, sort of connected to the most, and what environment are we most attracted to that we want to do business inside of.
Right. Well, one thing you touched on, Fred, is that, this might not be a good fit for everybody, and it's not going to be. But regardless of where you're at, I think you owe it to yourself to at least have a look at eXp.
I think that's incredibly well said, man. I kick myself. I say this to Kevin about every other day. I say, man, I'm sorry, buddy, because I was the guy that was like, hell no, we're not looking at eXp. We're never going there. I'm not doing it. I wouldn't even look at a webinar. I didn't even look at the model. I literally kick myself for not doing it. I don't know if we would have moved sooner. I can't say for sure. But I know this. I wish I had looked at it sooner. I wish I had understood what the buzz was about. I wish I would have understood that it's not necessarily just a bunch of hype, that there actually is substance to it. It's not just stock and revenue share, but the training's incredible. The marketing suite is incredible. The lead generation tools are awesome. The Sky Slope transaction management system being included. There's just this bundle of goodness, if you will, that's included at eXp that doesn't have anything to do with stock or revenue share. And it's pretty awesome. So I wish I would have peeked under the hood and looked behind the curtain a little sooner than I did. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, day one starts today, man. I feel re-energized. I feel excited, and I'm really happy that I've made the move.
That's awesome. Well, Danny, in closing, why don't you tell us what part of the country are you located in, just in case? I'm sure you'd take some referrals in case we got anybody out there nationally that's looking to place referrals. And then also tell us if there's anybody out there that's watching that might want to know how they can get a hold of you and ask you some questions or ask you for your feedback on what you saw about eXp. How would they best get a hold of you as well?
Well, they can call me 623-363-0739.
Okay.
623-363-0739. That's my cell phone. Or you could private message me right here on Facebook. I'm happy to, message you back and, schedule a time to chat.
Perfect. And you're located here. You live in Goodyear?
I'm in Peoria, Arizona.
Peoria, Arizona. There you have it. So on the West
Valley.
Yeah, in the West Valley here in Phoenix, too, there's a lot of opportunity for growth. There's not as many eXp agents as there are in the East Valley. So I'm excited to watch that grow. I know you're going to be a big part of that and a cheerleader and just a great collaborator in Peoria and the rest of the West Valley. And Danny, I don't even know if you know this, but I heard this statistic the other day. I'll share it in case anybody's interested. eXp had somewhere between, I think it was 311 or 319. It was in the low 300 agent count range on January 1st of this year. Here in Arizona, so 300 and some odd agents throughout the state. Today, we're approaching 750 agents. We're over 700 agents here in Arizona at eXp. So it's phenomenal to watch the company in 7-8 months already double here in Phoenix. And it's really actually done that nationally. It was about 6,000 agents January 1st of this year. It's now over 13,000 agents throughout the United States. So the growth is just tremendous, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. It's just exciting. And I'm having a lot of fun.
The exciting part about it, Fred, is actually to be, for us to be kind of at ground level.
Yes.
And watch us grow.
Absolutely. Yeah, it feels like joining a big old company back in its early days. Like you kind of can project and feel it's going to be big, and you're getting in on it early. So it's a lot of fun. Well, hey, Danny, thanks, man. Really appreciate you being here. I'm so glad Kevin let us hack his Facebook account. I'm going to go play around right now and change some of his settings. I'm going to unlike the Raiders on Facebook and like the Cardinals and do a few things before I get off here. But I appreciate you joining us, man. I'm excited to collaborate with you. I know we're going to have some fun, do some eXp classes in the West Valley. Excited to talk to more agents. I know you're looking to grow your presence and grow your real estate sales business. You've had a great business since 2004 here locally, but I know you're excited to grow it and diversify it all at the same time. So I'm excited to be a part of your journey, man.
I'm excited to be here, and I will be leaning on you guys to help that growth.
You got it, man. That's what we're here for. So, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have an awesome day.
Bye-bye now.
Later, Danny. Bye-bye.
Later.
Thank you so much for tuning in today and joining us. For more information regarding eXp Realty, would like to invite you to one of our Discover the Truth of eXp Realty webinars. You can find that information at kevinandfred.com/truth. Again, that's kevinandfred.com/truth. Thanks so much. Create yourself a great day.